Today I'm talking about my 3-step formula to eye-stopping, scroll-stopping copy. If you're not quite sure whether your copy is eye-stopping and scroll-stopping, then tune in to episode 62. Hey, welcome to the Small Business Made Simple podcast, brought to you by socialmediaandmarketing.com.au. Being in business is never easy, but it can be simple, or at least simpler. Join me, your host Jen Donovan, every week where we focus on marketing, social media, and working towards simplifying your business. You with me? Let's do this.
Gonna dream it big, 'cause someone out there listening. Everyone's got a voice to give, and it's time I heard you whistling, 'cause there's no point at all, in dreaming small.
Hey there, my podcast family. Welcome to episode 62 of the Small Business Made Simple podcast. Thank you so much for lending me your ears today. I know you have lots of choices out there, and I sincerely appreciate you making one of them. If you can hear some background noise and you're thinking to yourself, what is that background noise? It is rain. Yay! Our farm is receiving rain. So I hope it's not too loud for the podcast, but I'm a little bit super excited that we're getting rain today. Of course, if you're a first-time listener, then super welcome to you. I'm so pleased to have you here. I am the host, Jen Donovan, and it's my job to make your business life simpler, because business can be lonely and hard and complicated, and it's rarely easy, but it definitely should be simple, or at least simpler. So that's my commitment to you on the Small Business Made Simple podcast. One of the ways, of course, I can make your life a little bit simpler is if you come and join the Like-Minded Business Owners group on Facebook. Go there, get rapid fire answers, find the community you've been looking for to hang out with, that know exactly what it's like to have a business just like you and go through all the peaks and troughs of owning a business. So you can just go to Facebook and search Like-Minded Business Owners in the search bar, or of course you can go to the show notes at socialmediaandmarketing.com.au/62 and find the link there. I'm just a wee bit excited for this episode, but first, I just wondered, have you downloaded my ever so popular free ebook, 108 Social Media Content Creation Ideas? If you're struggling with social media and content or ideas for content, then this ebook is absolutely for you, and it's free. You can find it at www.108social.com.au and of course, download it there. But if you download it, pinky promise that you will read it when you get it, and you will print it out and you will look at it every time you think that you need to have some more inspiration on what to post on social media. It just might change your social media life. Of course, it was at 108social.com.au. I've been talking a lot lately about copy with friends, with colleagues. We're talking about it in posts that I've done in social media, in groups that I belong to. And of course, I had Brenna on my podcast just the other day in episode 60. So if you haven't listened to that, go back and catch that one at socialmediaandmarketing.com.au/60, because Brenna is like the copy queen and we talked about copy with her. But I just wanted to go a little bit deeper with the whole subject around copy, because social media is so busy, our inboxes are so busy, and we are so busy. So are our clients and our customers. So it does take a certain magic, a certain potion, a certain power to stop someone in their tracks, to first of all to stop, then to open, then to read, then to react or engage, and to take another action. So if you don't really know why you need good copy, that is it. That is the exact reason why we need good copy, to get someone to stop, read, and take action. Otherwise, we're just writing emails and captions and brochures to tick a box off our to-do list. If we don't want the reader to feel something or react somehow or take some action, it's really a question of, for what purpose are we doing it then? If you're a long-time listener, you will know I have a love-hate relationship with those 3 little words. The most powerful words in business. For what purpose? In life, the 3 most powerful words are I love you, but in business, they are for what purpose? I have such a love-hate relationship with those three words that I have a whole podcast dedicated to it. It's episode 37. It's worth a listen. So socialmediamarketing.com.au/37, or of course the link is in the show notes. So its power or the magic is actually what I want to talk about today, the power and the magic in copy. There's really 3 steps to writing good copy, I think. The first of all is the hook. The hook is the first bit. Its only job is to get the email opened or to stop the scroll on social media or to get someone to read a brochure and things like that. It's the job to engage the reader, grab their attention straight up. In an email, it's your subject line. On Instagram, it's the start of the caption because there we can only see the first 3 words in an Instagram post. In Facebook, it's the story. It's the words put over a video, perhaps in a Facebook or Instagram story. It's those words we put over the video to capture those scrolling, perhaps without sound on. On Twitter, it's almost everything because we are so limited in our captions. On Facebook and LinkedIn, it's of course the start of whatever we're talking about. And of course, those hooks can have little helpers like emojis or different fonts or underline or bold or other tools like that just help stop the scroll, help grab the attention, which again is the whole purpose behind a hook. You can use a program or an app like LingoJam fancy text generator. The link is in the show notes. Or, of course, there is yaytext.com. Both these fancy text creators help you do fancy text, clearly, but when it's cut and pasted into social media, it keeps the formatting. So you'll know that, sometimes you can't use bold or underline unless you're in a group. Well, little tools like this can help you use different types of fonts to stand out, to stop the scroll as part of your hook. I actually once heard Marie Forleo talk about on a podcast that she writes at least 30 subject lines or hooks before she gets to the one she wants. She writes down 30 alliterations of a hook, and she says that's where the gold comes from. I admire that wholeheartedly. I will strive to do that, but I have to admit, I don't do that. But if you're finding it hard to find the gold or to write good hooks or subject lines, then perhaps consider writing more and maybe listening to Marie Forleo's advice of writing 30 or more and finding the gold. So some examples of hooks that I've quite liked that I've seen recently. It's me or the meatballs. I need a new face or I will soon. A bird pooped in my hair. The juggle is a load of beep. I'm in town. Can we grab a coffee? All those things have made me open emails. In fact, I was standing doing a presentation the other day talking about just this, and we were talking about hooks, and I was actually in the rural town of Deniliquin in the Riverina of New South Wales, and I said, so you could use a hook like Denny is dead. And the whole room took a breath all in at once in complete shock. But it was a perfect example. If anyone in that room saw that headline, they would read the rest of the article or the rest of the blog or the rest of the post on social media. They won't read it in either curiosity or disgust, but they would read it. Either way, I had their attention and the hook worked. So experiment with hooks, read captions and emails a little bit differently and start seeing which ones got you to open or got you to engage, and start writing them down and writing why you like that particular caption or subject line. Start building yourself a library of hooks that people have used on you. After we've got their attention, of course, comes the body. The body of whatever it is that we're writing. So clearly, once you have them hooked, you need to back it up. You need to stake your claim of their attention. The body, of course, can come in many ways. The body of an article or a blog or a social media post or an email can be all sorts of different ways. But the two I want to talk about today are value-adding posts and story posts. And insert the word post for email, value adding email, story email, whatever you are thinking of when you are writing your copy. I often talk about the 3 E's of social media. So social media should always be educating your audience, engaging with value with your audience, or entertaining your audience. Again, if you're not educating, engaging with value, or entertaining, you need to ask yourself, for what purpose am I posting this? So, adding value, it's exactly as it says. What value are you adding to the person reading this post or email or brochure or whatever your copy is? Value can come in lots of different forms, of course, including giving tips and hints and tricks about something they're interested in, like perhaps how to write good copy. Perhaps you're telling them about a product you have that can save them time, money, energy, stress, things like that. What's in it for them. Or perhaps you're adding value by telling them about a sale or offering them a discount voucher or different value adding things like that. The thing to remember, of course, is that value posts are not actually about you. It's actually about the reader. You've always got to be thinking, what's in it for the reader? Of course, a story post, that's a little bit different. It is commonly a story about you, or it could be about someone in your world, but quite commonly a story post is about you. But the lesson behind the story and the reason why you're telling the story, well, that's for your audience. So basically, it's a value post in disguise as a story. Stories with messages are as old as the Bible, and they're in the children's books we used to read and the ones that we have read to our children. The story might have been how the big bad wolf tried to eat 3 little pigs, but the moral of the story for us as the reader was that good will always triumph over evil. Eventually. Maybe you just need more bricks. I don't know, something like that. But again, watch for these posts. Watch for these emails. Start looking and reading at things a little bit differently and look at them as a marketer. And yes, you are a marketer. If you are in business, you are in the business of marketing. So we've grabbed their attention. They've read what we want them to read. So they're highly engaged. What's next? Of course, it's a call to action. The whole point of grabbing their attention, holding it for a while they read your value post or your story, only to have them scroll by when they're finished or click out of the email to go to the next one or put the brochure in the bin after reading it, well, we need to tell them what to do next. What do you want them to do next? I am a firm believer in starting with the end in mind. So this is where I think you need to start. I want my client or my customers to do X. Okay, so how do I get them to do that? Oh, I know. I'll use this hook and this story and ask them to do X while they're reading it. Bingo! That is how you do a call to action. Of course, it doesn't have to be at the end. It just needs to be. I've put about 3 or 4 calls to action in this podcast already, and I can promise you there'll be more to come. But of course, on Instagram, a call to action might be as simple as double tap if you agree, or comment below if this has happened to you, or share it with a friend who needs to hear this or see this today. An email might be a little bit similar, but you could also have something like click reply and let me know X, whatever it is that you've asked for in the email. Forward this to a friend. Come and follow me on Instagram or Facebook or join my group. Of course, on Instagram and all the other social media platforms, it might be like, send me a DM, send me a direct message, give me a call, come and visit my shop, my office, my business. Use this code to get X, whether that's a discount or a free product or whatever. Download this. They're all calls to actions. Okay, so Pinky promised me after listening to this, you will never, ever put a post up on social media ever again that doesn't have some sort of call to action in it. A piece of marketing without a call to action is just half a piece of marketing. Yes, the call to actions may not always be, you have to do this. They mightn't be as obvious, but they definitely have to be in there. So Pinky promise, you'll change the way that you write emails. You'll change the way that you write captions on social media and things like that, and start putting some call to actions in. You know that saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink? Well, I think you freaking can make him drink, but maybe you just have to ask him to. We as humans, we're funny people, and sometimes we won't do something until we're asked to. I see it when I'm on social media all the time. I'll read someone's post, and if they don't say double tap if you love this or something, sometimes I scroll by, but whenever I see those words, I do that action. It's just because they asked. It's just because I didn't have to think about it. They asked, sure, I'll do that for you. So thinking about, what do you want the person to do next? Tell them. Don't let them wonder what to do next. Actually tell them. So that's my 3-step formula for writing some good, engaging copy, and engaging being the operative word. A hook, a value or story-based body, and a call to action in there somewhere. That's perfect. I'd love to know what you think. Is this what you've done all the time, or is this a bit of a new concept to you? Do you use call to actions? Do you have a really cool call to action that everyone does whenever you put it in there? I'd love to know all about it in the Like-Minded Business Owners Facebook group. But of course, that is all for episode 62. I will be back next week with another great episode to help you simplify your business in 2020. If you're enjoying this podcast, I would love for you to subscribe firstly, so that you get all the exclusive content like episode 61A that came out this week that only subscribers got to know about. And maybe you could share this podcast with a friend, another superstar business owner who's doing the daily grind and would really appreciate someone making their business life a little bit simpler. Of course, a rating and a review would always be perfect as well. So I'll see you next week on the podcast for episode 63. But in the meantime, let's hang out and get social on social. You'll find me at Instagram at Small Business Made Simple. Of course, my Facebook group and my favorite platform, LinkedIn. But of course, whatever you do, my small business peeps, remember, as my opening song says, there is no point in dreaming small.
Tell it like I feel it, say it proud, be true, and let us see you for the star that you are.